brief about how he became the lawyer. Babasaheb was registered at the Gray's Inn, London. Gray's Inn is one of the 4 inns of court in an institution unique to Britain which admits barrister to the bar of England and Wales. In 1916, Babasaheb enrolled himself to the bar course at the Gray's Inn, and in 1917, his scholarship given by Maharaja of Baroda ended. So unfortunately, he has to leave to London. So before leaving the London, he has wrote many books, and he sent those books to India by a ship. And unfortunately, the ship was sunk. So, in the matter the ship was sunk, Babasaheb was given another chance to do his bar and also to do the thesis he was doing in economics. In 1921, he again returned to the London. At the time, he was registered in the London School of Economics for his doctoral thesis on the book and also he was doing the bar at law. And finally, on 28 June 1922, he became bar at law. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the first and only person of Indian origin and the very second jurist in the world who had a room dedicated to him at the Gray's Inn. Gray's Inn has honored Dr. B.R. Ambedkar by establishing Dr. Ambedkar Room and placing his colorful portrait among the galaxy of portraits of jurists. Now, the second is the Naval Patil. He was the very close friend of Babasaheb. Babasaheb and Naval met at the Columbia University. When Babasaheb was studying law in London, Naval has helped him not in respect of the monetary benefits but the emotional support, as his family was back in India, was going through many sufferings. Naval has helped Babasaheb to set up his first office. Babasaheb's first office was at Social Service Legal Building, Poyabudi in Bombay. But as Babasaheb was from the oppressed class, he didn't get many of the cases. And because of this reason, he has to shift his office to the Damodar Hall, Parel. Dr. Ambedkar faced many discrimination on caste grounds, leaving him to search for work in the district courts. His cases was low in volume and value in 1920s, and therefore he became a law professor at the Government Law College, Bombay, in order to sustain a steady income for his family and also to buy books. Now, in contrast, comes on starkly in the news article that Mr. Jinha, who was also the lawyer at that time, used to charge fees of around 2 lakhs, and at the same time, Babasaheb used to charge in some hundreds. Babasaheb's first major appearance was in the case of Philip Spratt. Philip Spratt was an economist from the British. He had published the pamphlet of India and China. The pamphlet says some revolutionary things, and it was so that charged the people to rebel against the current government at that time. Babasaheb was the defense lawyers of the Philip Spratt. Babasaheb has defended carefully and challenged the British imperialism and not the government of India. The term oppressor which was used in the pamphlet was used not in the literal sense to the specific government in power, but in a popular sense of people subjected to a foreign rule. The freedom demanded was from British capital and imperialism rather than legal authorities under the Government of India Act. Next. The curious case on book Deshache Dushman. In defense of the Deshache Dushman, Babasaheb was very firm in terms of his thoughts. The defense of the Dalit writer, publisher and printer of book Deshache Dushman. It was a defamation case that filed by the Brahmin lawyers. Herein, the twofold argument by Dr. Ambedkar established that two people defamed are dead and the lawyer is not a close relative. Further, establishing how book was targeting only these two individuals but the entire Brahmin community. The verdict was in favor of the court and called the act as mischievous one, but not the illegal. Once again, other case was of the Professor R.G. Karve. In 1933, Babasaheb pleaded obscenity case against the R.G. Karve. Karve, through his magazine Samaj Swasthya, spread awareness on sex-related issues. He was charged for spreading vulgarity. Dr. Ambedkar pleaded in defense of the Karve. He argued that vulgarity is not in the content, but in the expressions. What is vulgar and what is not is depend on the meaning, but in the way something is said or written. He marshaled extensive arguments about the meaning of vulgarity, but lost the case. The magistrate conceded that the taboo of silence on sexuality matters should be ended. The magistrate, however, refused to admit the liberty of writing on sexual matters could be licensed. Dr. Ambedkar lost the particular case, but continued to be engaged in the promotions of family planning.